this bout.
Only the last poet!
I know, but there's more coming up, so you don't have to worry about not getting enough poetry said in your life. All right, so Throw Collective, who are you sending up? You're sending up B. Please give it up for Andrew Zadel. GPS.
Where you at? Let's go, poet. Go in.
At the National Burn and Reconstructive Center of the Al Jamhouri Hospital in Sana'a, the capital city of Yemen, I learned something. From that little boy at once baby Jesus and the crucifixion, swaddling clothes around his seeping eyes, one little arm lashed to a splint dead straight, only his own breath to warm him in the manger. From the thin man lying in the gold foil blanket, as the veiled nurses, their gloves wet with communicability, pull away yesterday's bandages, all his newborn skin stuck to the other side. His half-crumpled lungs throw their screams up to God, that same God that summons some ravenous combustion to chew up his soft outer husk. In the thin man's bed sheets, I can read the history of his secretions. At his bedside, a half-crumpled juice box and a red plastic bag with bread crusts. In the trash bin, an empty bag of blood, half of it now inside of him, and half of it fallen out again. Every door we open, the smell of silver sulfadiazine and biological fluids, the dark smell of iodine smearing under our shoes, bedridden men writhing gently, little girls with some measurable percentage of their flesh now gone, one woman with her chest and neck smeared together, their skin made white by fire, their skin made black by fire, their skin the patchwork quilting of a deranged grandmother, and no morphine, explains the doctor, his cheek puffed out with a ball of cat. Every door we open, the smell of human beings unwrapped. I learned something from the kind man, his whole huge thigh glistening like butchery. The kind man who maybe had an accident. The kind man who maybe tried to kill himself with a can of petrol and the leftover end of a cigarette, because if you are tired enough, even immolation can be rest. I lean my unmelted ear close to him, and he whispers to me with his infected breath that today he is feeling better. I learned something from the man they wheeled out under the sunshine, half uncovered, tendon and sinew drying in the air, an artist's rendition from an anatomy textbook come to life. He follows me with his perfect eyes, and as I walk by, I forget to say hello to this other human being. Later they took baby Jesus to the ICU, his breath so thin they had to fatten it up with oxygen from a can, his little penis with a hole in the side, because the veiled nurses left him lying in one position for a month without rolling him over, and his dad says pull the plug because he's dead already, and how much is this going to cost me anyway? For this patient, it was a Saudi missile. This patient, it was a leaking gas stove. This patient, an American cluster bomb. This patient, a burst oil pipeline. At the National Burn and Reconstructive Center of the Al Jamhouri Hospital in Sana'a, the capital city of Yemen, I learned that there is war and there is life. And either way, all your little pieces are going to end up on the outside, right where we can see them.